So, wait a minute. We've been doing this for all these years. What's the hat business? I have no idea what this hat thing is.
Does it bother you?
You're promoting the new logo, or what's going on here?
Look, my friends who've had chemo, like I'm doing right now,
Yes.
they understand. Sometimes bald is beautiful. Sometimes it's
Not so.
not. No. So I got a hat. But I got a second reason. I've been hearing people think we should wear a different shirt every time.
Yes. I don't have that many shirts.
I don't either. But I have that many hats.
Yeah.
So I'll change hats.
Okay. You're gonna
How's
change.
that?
You're gonna change hat every
I,
single video this time.
Every time. Jeff Hopper, Jeff Cranford,
Yeah.
back here in the studio.
Well, before we start, I'm just going to say, as for many of you who may not know, our brother here is been going through this cancer issue, and I've just got to tell you, he has walked through it with faith and grace, and you can see his energy even now going through something horrible. So even in the devastating times of our lives, Christ is the rock and keep us so steady.
Amen.
So it's an exciting time to be here with you, and you minister to me.
Well, you've always ministered to me. So, we got a links thing going on.
Yes,
Ministry to ministry.
it's wonderful.
We're bringing some of it to you. Brand new series called Streetwise. The way people talk on the street
Yes,
and the way we read it in the Word.
yes.
Do we have to be careful about the way people talk on the street?
Well, there's just no question about it. I mean, there's only so much care that you can give and guidance, but we have to make sure that those ideas, those speculations, those philosophies, those philosophies that raise themselves up against the knowledge of God that we have, don't, first of all, permeate our soul, and then secondly, that we're able to go into the marketplace and have a dialogue and discuss those things openly and know what we're going to be confronted with.
Right. So, we're going to cover about a half dozen of those.
Great.
Walking through. But before we do that, why does the scripture say, be concerned? It calls it strongholds.
Yeah.
These philosophies, they can take root and grab us, can't they?
Yeah, there's no question about it, Jeff. And the reason we could be so concerned is, first of all, they can captivate us. We oftentimes, and let me give you an example. Many of you will have grown up with maybe a dad who said, look, son, if somebody hits you, you hit them harder back, and then that'll take care of the bullying. And then we become believers and we're followers of Jesus, and then Jesus comes along and says, hey, take this cheek right here, and if he hits you on this side, turn the other cheek and absorb the blow. Now, so which is it? This is now you say, well, that's not an overarching religious philosophy, but it's a subtle way in which you live your life that has deep underpinnings in terms of how you engage the world. So we have to be aware, be concerned that we've adopted, without even a conscientious awareness, we've adopted philosophies and speculations and ways of thinking about reality that aren't in any way aligned with this. And that's what we see in Isaiah 55. God, through the prophet Isaiah, says very clearly, the way that I think about things, it's not the way you think about these things. My ways are not your ways, and my thoughts, they're not your thoughts. So part of the discipleship process, part of becoming like Jesus, part of becoming biblically literate is to be concerned about those little philosophies that creep in on us, maybe even when we're unaware that they're philosophies or ideas about God.
Yeah. So that's what we want to talk about as we go through this series. How you might be confronted or just hear.
Absolutely.
Hey, that sounds good. But is it really? Where do we go to make sure we've got the right word?
Well, there is only one place to have the right word. This is the foundation. Jesus said, look, if you build your house on this rock, and he was talking about himself, the truth and the reality of what he said about the nature of who you are, why you exist, how you were created, there's always a stopping point. There's a ledge with which you can, if you're falling, you may even today feel like you're in somewhat of a free fall, but you can fall, and the word is a foundation. There's only a certain point you can't fall below the word. The world is just how they feel, just what they perceive in that moment. So that's the challenging part.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll see you in a week, and we're going to talk about a couple of people you're very familiar with.
Looking forward to it.